Planning for a pregnancy is an emotional roller coaster. It's a journey that begins with a simple thought, a dream of bringing a new life into the world. This dream, however, is often accompanied by a whirlwind of emotions. From the initial excitement of the possibility to the anxiety of the unknown, every step is filled with anticipation and hope. It's a journey filled with hope, excitement, and a touch of trepidation. The moment you see that positive test result, a flood of emotions rushes in. Joy, relief, and a sense of wonder take over. You start imagining the future, picturing the tiny hands and feet, the first smile, and the countless memories you'll create together. For me, it was the realization of a long-cherished dream. I had always envisioned myself as a mother, nurturing and guiding a little one through life's adventures. The thought of creating a family, of sharing my love and wisdom, was something I had held close to my heart for years. I yearned to experience the miracle of life growing within me. The idea of feeling those first tiny kicks, of watching my belly grow, and of knowing that a new life was forming inside me was both magical and surreal. It was a dream that I was determined to make a reality. The thought of holding my own child in my arms filled me with an indescribable joy. I imagined the warmth of their tiny body against mine, the softness of their skin, and the sound of their first cries. These thoughts were my motivation, my driving force through the ups and downs of the journey. However, the initial excitement was often overshadowed by a sense of being overwhelmed. The reality of the journey set in, and with it came a flood of questions and concerns. Was I doing everything right? Was I prepared for the challenges ahead? The weight of these thoughts sometimes felt like too much to bear. The sheer volume of information available online was staggering. Every search led to a new set of articles, forums, and blogs, each offering different advice and opinions. It was easy to get lost in the sea of information, each piece adding to the confusion rather than providing clarity. Countless articles, forums, and blogs offered advice on everything from fertility tracking to prenatal vitamins. While some of this information was helpful, much of it was contradictory, leaving me more uncertain than before. I found myself questioning every decision, every step I took. While informative, this abundance of information sometimes left me feeling lost and confused. I realized that I needed to find a balance, to trust my instincts and seek guidance from trusted sources, rather than getting overwhelmed by the sheer volume of advice available. I knew I needed a plan, a roadmap to guide me through this unfamiliar territory. I started by setting small, manageable goals, breaking down the journey into steps that felt achievable. This approach helped me regain a sense of control and focus, allowing me to navigate the challenges with more confidence. This realization marked the beginning of my rollercoaster journey towards motherhood. It was a path filled with twists and turns, highs and lows, but each step brought me closer to my dream. I learned to embrace the uncertainty, to find strength in my vulnerability, and to trust in the process. It was a journey that would test my resilience, challenge my beliefs, and ultimately lead me to a deeper understanding of my own body and the incredible power it held. Through meditation and mindfulness, I found peace and clarity, learning to listen to my body and honor its wisdom. This journey, though challenging, was a profound and transformative experience, one that I will cherish forever. My husband and I decided it was time to turn our dream into a reality. We had always envisioned ourselves as parents, and after years of building our careers and creating a stable home, we felt the moment had finally arrived. It was a decision that came with a mix of excitement and apprehension, but we were ready to embrace the journey ahead. We both felt a sense of readiness, both emotionally and financially, to welcome a child into our lives. We had spent countless evenings discussing our hopes and dreams for our future family. And now it was time to take the first tangible steps. We knew that starting a family would require careful planning and consideration, especially when it came to our finances and emotional well-being. Our first step was finding a reputable gynaecologist in our area. We wanted someone who was not only experienced, but also someone we could trust and feel comfortable with. We spent hours researching online, reading reviews, and asking for recommendations from friends and family. It was important to us to find a clinic that had a good track record and a supportive environment. After some research and recommendations from friends, we settled on a well-regarded clinic nearby. The clinic had excellent reviews and came highly recommended by several people we knew. We felt confident in our choice and were eager to schedule our first appointment. It was reassuring to know that we were in good hands as we embarked on this new chapter of our lives. The initial consultation was a mix of excitement and nerves. As we sat in the waiting room, holding hands and exchanging nervous glances, we couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. This was the beginning of our journey, and we were both eager and anxious to see what lay ahead. The waiting room was filled with other couples, each with their own hopes and dreams, and it was comforting to know we were not alone in this experience. The doctor was friendly and professional, taking the time to understand our medical history and answer our questions. She made us feel at ease with her warm demeanor and thorough explanations. We discussed our lifestyle, any pre-existing conditions, and our desire to start trying for a baby soon. It was a relief to have someone who was knowledgeable and supportive guiding us through the process. We discussed our lifestyle, any pre-existing conditions, and our desire to start trying for a baby soon. The doctor provided valuable insights and advice on how to optimize our chances of conception. She emphasized the importance of a healthy lifestyle, including proper nutrition, regular exercise, and managing stress. We left the consultation feeling more informed and prepared for the journey ahead. She recommended a series of preliminary tests to assess our overall health and fertility. These tests would help identify any potential issues that could affect our ability to conceive. While the thought of undergoing medical tests was daunting, we understood the importance of having a clear picture of our health. The doctor assured us that these tests were routine and would provide valuable information for our journey. These included blood work, ultrasounds, and a few other routine procedures. The tests were designed to check for any underlying health conditions and to assess our reproductive health. We scheduled the appointments and prepared ourselves for the next steps. It was a lot to take in, but we were determined to do everything necessary to make our dream a reality. While I understood the necessity of these tests, I couldn't help but feel a surge of anxiety. The thought of needles and medical procedures wasn't exactly my idea of a good time. I had always been a bit squeamish when it came to medical settings, and the prospect of undergoing multiple tests was overwhelming. However, I knew that this was a crucial step in our journey, and I was willing to face my fears for the sake of our future family. The thought of needles and medical procedures wasn't exactly my idea of a good time. But I reminded myself that these tests were a means to an end. Each test brought us one step closer to our dream of becoming parents. I took a deep breath and tried to focus on the bigger picture, knowing that the discomfort was temporary and the rewards would be worth it. However, I was determined to do everything in my power to make our dream a reality. With each step, we grew more hopeful and excited about the future. We knew that the journey ahead would have its challenges, but we were ready to face them together. Our love and commitment to each other gave us the strength to keep moving forward, and we couldn't wait to see what the future held for our growing family. The following weeks were a blur of appointments, tests, and consultations. The initial blood work revealed some irregularities in my hormone levels. The doctor explained that these imbalances could potentially affect my chances of conceiving. She suggested a course of medication to regulate my hormones and improve our chances of a successful pregnancy. While I appreciated her proactive approach, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't quite right. The prescribed medication came with a long list of potential side effects, some of which were quite concerning. Moreover, the doctor seemed overly focused on the medical aspects of conception without fully addressing my emotional well-being. I felt overwhelmed by the sudden influx of information and the pressure to make quick decisions about my body. I began to question whether the suggested treatment plan was truly the best course of action for me. This feeling of unease lingered, prompting me to seek a second opinion. The decision to seek a second opinion wasn't an easy one. It weighed heavily on my mind for days, as I wrestled with the fear of offending my current doctor. She had been with me through so much already, and I didn't want to appear ungrateful or distrustful of her expertise. But deep down, I knew I had to listen to my instincts. I didn't want to offend my current doctor or appear distrustful of her expertise. Yet the nagging feeling that something was being overlooked kept me up at night. I found myself replaying our conversations, searching for clues that might explain my unease. However, my gut feeling told me that something wasn't adding up. It was a persistent whisper that grew louder with each passing day. I couldn't ignore it any longer. I needed to take action, to seek out another perspective that might shed light on my situation. I needed reassurance, a different perspective that could either validate my concerns or put my mind at ease. I began to research other specialists, reading reviews and testimonials late into the night. I reached out to friends and family, seeking their advice and recommendations. I reached out to a friend who had recently gone through her own fertility journey. She understood my fears and uncertainties better than anyone else. Over coffee, she shared her experiences, her struggles, and the hope she found in a new doctor. She highly recommended a doctor who was known for her empathetic approach and holistic treatment plans. Her words were like a lifeline, offering me a glimmer of hope in a sea of doubt. I felt a sense of relief wash over me as I jotted down the doctor's contact information. With a renewed sense of hope, I scheduled an appointment, eager to hear a different point of view. The act of making that call felt empowering, as if I was taking control of my destiny. I marked the date on my calendar, counting down the days with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. The wait for the appointment felt excruciatingly long. Each day seemed to stretch on forever, filled with a restless energy that I couldn't shake. I tried to distract myself with work and hobbies, but my mind kept drifting back to the upcoming consultation. During this time, I immersed myself in online research, hoping to find stories that resonated with my own experience. I read countless articles and medical journals, trying to arm myself with as much knowledge as possible before the appointment. I stumbled upon countless forums and support groups filled with women who had faced similar challenges. Their stories were a source of comfort and inspiration, reminding me that I wasn't alone in this journey. Reading their stories, their struggles, and their triumphs filled me with a sense of solidarity. I found myself cheering for their successes and empathizing with their setbacks. It was a reminder that resilience and hope could carry us through the darkest times. I realized I wasn't alone in this journey. There was a community of women who understood my fears and hopes, and their collective strength gave me the courage to keep moving forward. As the day of my appointment approached, I felt a renewed sense of determination and optimism. The second doctor's approach was like a breath of fresh air. She listened patiently as I recounted my experience with the previous doctor, my concerns about the medication, and my emotional turmoil. She didn't rush me or dismiss my anxieties. Instead, she validated my feelings, acknowledging that fertility treatments could be emotionally taxing. She reviewed my medical records thoroughly, taking the time to explain each test result and address my questions in detail. Unlike the previous doctor, she didn't jump to conclusions or suggest aggressive treatments right away. Instead, she emphasized the importance of a holistic approach, one that considered not just my physical health, but also my mental and emotional well-being. This empathetic and personalized approach filled me with a sense of relief I hadn't realized I desperately needed. For the first time since embarking on this journey, I felt heard, understood, and empowered to make informed decisions about my body.
We share these stories so you can relate, offering community support to remind you that it's okay to feel vulnerable. You're not alone in this journey, and together we can help lighten the load. Let these stories be a source of strength and encouragement, showing that challenges are shared and solutions can be found as a community. You've got this, and we're here to support you every step of the way. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more health stories just like it, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's completely free. And as a little thank you for subscribing, we'll give you a special voucher. This voucher will get you 20% off any of our laboratory products or money off every test or appointment for as long as you're subscribed to our channel. It's a great deal. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out and lets us know what you'd like to see more of.